Today, Major League Baseball, the Cardinals, and Fox Sports Midwest are proud to once again participate in the national moment of remembrance as we pause to remember the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We ask that you please join us now in this moment of silence as a collective, unified expression of gratitude to the heroes who lost their lives while protecting the freedoms we enjoy today.
The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This afternoon on Fox Sports Midwest, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the St. Louis Cardinals. It's Memorial Day, a day we remember the people who died while serving our great country in the armed forces. Along with the Mad Hungarian, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Delighted to have you with us for Memorial Day. Hope it's been a great weekend for you. The Cardinals back in town, and that means Carlos Martinez back on the mound here for game number 1.
Yeah, he'll have his hands full with the Diamondbacks. They're a very good offensive ball club. Carlos coming off a very good start in New York. He did not allow a run in that ball game, and he kept the ball in the ballpark, and that is key against these sluggers from the Diamondbacks.
So it's Carlos Martinez getting the call today for the Cardinals. Matt Carpenter is in the lineup. Baseball comes your way next. Cardinals take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. On this special day, we remember those who have served our country and paid the ultimate price. If there's anybody that understands the importance of this day, it's the Cardinals' very own Mitch Harris.
Well, it starts with the first word is memory. It's the guys who aren't with us. It's the guys who didn't come home. And it's the guys who put themselves in front of everyone else. A lot of guys that would love to be here and aren't. And we can thank them for that.
Brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Memorial Day, remembering those who died while serving our country in the armed forces. America's pastime here this afternoon. We'll enjoy that. Cardinals baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks in town, and Ender Inciarte will lead things off, followed by Mark Trumbo, then Paul Goldschmidt, outstanding player and hitter, David Peralta, Yasmani Tomas, Chris Owings, Tuffy Gozawish, Nick Ahmed, and the pitcher batting ninth, Chase Anderson. Cardinals have young right-hander Carlos Martinez on the mound. He has a record of 4-2 and coming off arguably his best start, which was at Citi Field in New York this past week.
Yeah, it went 6 1/3 innings, not allowing any runs, and maybe one of the most important things, his first start without allowing a home run. He needs to keep the ball in the ballpark, and this is a good offense he's facing.
And the first pitch taken high for a ball. Beautiful day for baseball. The Diamondbacks come in town at 21-22 and 5 games out in the National League West. It's popped up into shallow left, coming on Holiday. He calls off Peralta for the first out. A look at the Cardinals defense behind Carlos Martinez here this afternoon, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Holiday in left, Peter Borges in center, and Jason Hayward in right field. Carpenter, Peralta on the left side of the infield, Long and Adams on the right side, and the perennial Gold Glove winner behind home plate, that's Yadier Molina. Here's Mark Trumbo.
Trumbo's got the good power, Kind of question mark is how long will he be with the Diamondbacks. They're definitely in a rebuilding stage, but they're winning. They won 6 of their last 7 games.
Interesting to see that Chip Hale is using Trumbo in the number 2 spot in this lineup. He moved there on May 6th, and the results for the most part have virtually been the same, with the exception of what you talk about, his power.
Yeah, and they figure hitting in front of Goldschmidt, an MVP candidate, we get more pitches to hit, maybe more fastballs, and he's playing right field now. And you know, his true position is first base, but you're not going to play ahead of Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt, great hitter, also a Gold Glove winner. Trumbo, 4 of his 6 home runs from this spot in the lineup. Good sinking action on that pitch from Martinez.
And that's real key for Martinez, is to be efficient, to pitch ahead in the count, and really utilize that sinker.
The 2-2 swung on and missed, and a strikeout for Carlos Martinez. Hyundai pitch arsenal for the right-hander, a fastball, curve, and a changeup that's been very effective at times against left-handed batters.
Yeah, that changeup can really neutralize the left-handers. Remember, you know, the last couple of years, that was his problem. He couldn't get left-handed hitters out. He's much better at that now, and that changeup is probably one of the biggest weapons wide.
Goldschmidt is 4th in the National League in average at .333. 3rd in RBIs. He has 38. There's a look at Tony La Russa, the Hall of Famer, on the left. Dave Stewart, the general manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, on the right. Those two know each other quite well from their days with the Oakland A's.
Of course, Tony on Wednesday is going to be busy, having one of the Cardinal Care Fields named in his honor here in St. Louis.
And if you wonder if Tony has been successful in the game of baseball, just go ahead and look at his fingers.
His fingers, you can see the one quite prominent. I would imagine that is a Cardinal ring, too.
1 ball and 2 strikes, and there's a base hit into center field. What may surprise you is a first baseman already this early in the season with 8 steals, which is second most on the Diamondbacks. He's got speed. He can do just about everything.
He's 8 steals in 10 attempts. That's one thing the Diamondbacks do. They're running a lot. They're 3rd most steals in the National League.
It's 41 in 56 attempts, second most in the National League. What a story this young man is. David Peralta. He used to be with the St. Louis Cardinals. Peralta signed as a pitcher in the mid-2000s. The Cardinals released him after 2009 because of shoulder injuries. He returned to his native Venezuela and vowed to make it back as a position player. And amazingly, he has, and here he is batting cleanup against the team that took him first.
Imagine he's trying to keep his emotions in check today, too.
And Al, he worked his way through independent leagues, the Rio Grande Valley White Wings, the Wichita Wingnuts. He was in Amarillo, Texas. He played all over the country just trying to get a look. And then eventually, Chris Carminucci, who is the coordinator of independent league scouting, found him. And usually those scouts are there to find A-ball type players just to fill rosters.
Sure. Just trying to fill out a roster, maybe before a draft or late in the season. But you don't look too often for big leaguers. And here, bat cleanup.
Goldschmidt, a stolen base, but it doesn't matter. A strikeout. Second in the inning for Martinez. Great jump for Goldschmidt. Martinez never stepped off, and a strikeout. Cardinals. Also a new one, the bat over by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Colton Wong will lead it off, followed by Matt Carpenter and Matt Holliday. Holliday, a late scratch. He's been hit by 2 pitches in back-to-back games. He's in there this afternoon. Then we'll see Matt Adams, Johnny Peralta, Yadier Molina, Jason Hayward, Peter Borges, and Carlos Martinez. 27-year-old Chase Anderson, who's 9th in the league in ERA at 2.54, gets the start for Arizona. He is from Wichita Falls, Texas.
His second season with the D-backs. He came up and made his major league debut last May, and he ended up tying for the National League lead in wins with 9. An excellent changeup. He's there right now, is their best pitcher on their staff.
Colton Wong is hitting .315. That's 9th best in the National League. As a matter of fact, the Cardinals have 3 in the top 10 of batting in the NL. Wong, Carpenter, Holliday. 2 balls and no strikes.
Anderson really pitching well. Has allowed 1 run or fewer in his last 4 starts. Really just 1 bad start this year.
Wong down the right field line, and it's down. To the wall it goes. Colton on his way to second base with a leadoff double.
Colton Wong really taking hold of that leadoff spot. Reached base 3 times yesterday with 2 hits and a walk. Trumbo, we talked about, he's a first baseman. I don't think he would have made this play either way, but you could tell just the awkward approach that he's not comfortable out there in the outfield. And the Cardinals with a good start, the leadoff double by Wong. 9-game hitting streak for Colton.
Now it's Matt Carpenter. Home run yesterday, his 8th to lead the club. That matches his season total from a year ago. Carpenter is the Triple Crown winner so far for the Cardinals. Leads in average, home runs, and RBIs.
And he loves hitting against the Diamondbacks.
Off-speed pitch, drops in for a strike.
Holliday doesn't like that, Matt.
You don't see many that are on deck that are situated on the grass.
No.
Either they're on the mat or right next to it. On the track just beyond the playing field. 0-1 pitch. 0-2. Al mentioned the 1 bad start that Anderson had. That was against Colorado. His last start against Miami, arguably his best. 99 pitches. He went 8 innings. Just 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run.
Diamondbacks were down in Miami when they made the managerial change. They won all 4 games there. Then they helped the Cardinals by winning 2 out of 3 against the Cubs at home. They said that carrying a little momentum into St. Louis.
There's that changeup taken low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The BJC Healthcare difference maker, as my partner said. Matt Carpenter loves Arizona. So does Matt Adams and Johnny Peralta. Keep an eye on that trio today. Big gap in right center field. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Matt Carpenter. Carpenter out to right field. That'll drop base hit. Wong held up at third. A strong throw from Trumbo. And runners at the corners. Nobody out for Matt Holliday.
Golden, the runner out at second base, his secondary lead. Then he sees that ball will not carry all the way to third base. Nobody out. Oquendo, who is always so aggressive, does the right thing in holding Colton over at third base. So runners at the corner for Matt Holliday. You could look at it. Remember, we showed him sitting on the grass. That might be an indication that he can't wait to get in that batter's box.
Think about also the vantage point of particular hitters, where they situate themselves to try to get a better look at the pitcher.
That's part of the design.
Holliday hitting .455 with runners in scoring position. takes a healthy hack at that first pitch, fouled it back for strike one. Matt is by the mat, and that's Adams on deck. And the 0-1 pitch to Holiday. Remember a few years ago, the Cardinals took away those on-deck circles. The reason why it was a rubberized type mat. It rained, and with that, Albert Pujols came in on a pop-up and slipped. And that particular on-deck circle is more of a cushiony, if you will, well, it's got like carpet on it, if you will. So hopefully no one slips. Nice play by Gosawish. Miguel Montero now with the Chicago Cubs, who was the leader in terms of pitch framing a year ago. Cubs put a premium on that, and the Diamondbacks said, with $40 million left on the deal, adios. A 2-1 pitch to Holiday with runners at first and third, nobody out. Out in front on the changeup, shallow left. Peralta calls off Ahmed and makes the catch. Runners stay put.
The changeup is the best pitch for Anderson. And the one thing you'll see how much he throws it, almost 22% of the time. And really what makes it so effective is he doesn't have a real high octane fastball, but there's 10 miles an hour variance between the fastball and the changeup. And when you have that much variance, then it becomes very effective.
His fastball tops out around 91, 92. The changeup 80, 81.
Yeah, so 10, 11 miles an hour is optimum.
Here's Adams with one out. First pitch is strike.
A year ago, Anderson had a little trouble with the home run balls. Allowed 21 starts, allowed 16 home runs. This year, he's tried to incorporate a little more of a two-seamer to get some sinking action and get ground balls to get out of a situation like this.
I've mentioned that Arizona is very aggressive on the base paths. You wonder if they will be with Molina behind the plate, you would assume, for 3 games. And the Cardinals are 11th in the National League in terms of stolen base attempts. They have no steals in the last 12 games and only 2 attempts.
Oh, you remember, opening day, had 4 steals and would have 17 on the year. So you want to have a running game, but if it's not effective, hard to do it. There's the changeup.
1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Adams. And a ground ball up the middle, sliding to it. Owings. He'll get 1 out. A run does score. 1-0 Cardinals as Colton Long scores the first run. Nice play there by Chris Owings.
Yeah, they really like the interior defense from second and short. Owings and Ahmed at times have struggled to get off to a real slow start offensively. Ahmed's hitting the ball well. Owens is now in a little funk. But they think their defense is so solid that Owings has replaced Aaron Hill, another veteran.
So runner at first is Adams, and here's Johnny Peralta. Peralta, ground ball hit to short. Ahmed to Owings. The Cardinals strike first. Colton Long scores the first run of the afternoon. 1-0 after 1 inning of play. Take a look at our Toyota keys to the game.
The one thing was Martinez, don't walk anybody and keep the ball in the ballpark. Good formula to win. He's allowed 7 home runs. His last start was the only time he'd made a start. He didn't allow it, and he's walking way too many. And the home cooking. Cardinals have the best record, 15-5 at home, the fewest losses in the major leagues, but they need to make hay. They've been on the road for a long time. Tough stretch.
Yasmani Tomas with a base hit into center field. So the Diamondbacks leadoff man is on here in the top of the second.
Tomas was their big signing, $68.5 million for the Cuban slugger. Playing third base, and they said in spring training he was playing third base, and they found out he couldn't play it. But Lamb, who's out with an injury, be back in about a week. He'll be playing third base, and maybe another reason why they'll be forced to possibly move Trumbo.
There's Chris Owings, the second baseman, hitting .235. So Jake Lamb is out with a stress reaction in his left foot. They hope to see him by the end of this road trip. The Cardinals, one of their longest homestands of the season, beginning today. Arizona, the Dodgers, and then Milwaukee. Could be 2. A flip to Peralta. 4-6-3 started by Colton Wong. I like that lead from Colton Wong.
I was going to say, these two are starting to really work together and perform a little magic. You know, Johnny Peralta is just so steady, makes all the plays, usually gives good feeds, but Colton Wong, kind of the spectacular guy. And there, like you said, he just flipped it right at the bag, knew that his counterpart, or that his shortstop, would be right there to receive it and complete the double play.
Tuffy Gozawish. Spelled Gosewisch. Gozawish. So 2 outs and a 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. What do you think a real key with Martinez, Al, is having, and it's, you know, you could say this for any pitcher, but especially Carlos, a young guy who can get emotional. That first inning's such a key for him to come away scoreless.
Oh, definitely. And you know, go out there, throw up a 0, and then by the time you take the mound the next time, you already got a lead. You know, the team has scored runs for him, but it's all about efficiency. Keeping the pitch count reasonable, and that double play helps out.
Chop to the left side, charging a bit, Carpenter. Another look at the double play midway through 2 as we head to a break on Fox Sports Midwest. Colton Wong, Johnny Peralta, to Big Matt Adams. at 15 here in St. Louis. We check in with our good buddy Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
Dan, John Jay is eligible to come off the DL tomorrow. He's been dealing with tendonitis in his left wrist. John Mozeliak telling me on the pregame show that the plan is to send John out on a short rehab assignment starting tomorrow in Peoria. 2 or 3 games really just to help John get his timing back. With the off day on Thursday, there's a chance Jay could be back with the big club Friday. Jay has been taking BP. He told me the wrist is doing much better. No word on what the corresponding roster move will be when Jay comes back. John Mozeliak telling me that they have some time to make a decision on which way they're going to go.
All right, Jim, thanks. First pitch popped up by Yadier Molina on the infield. Nick Ahmed makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. Cardinals have been dealing with a short bench for a while.
Short bench, having the extra reliever. So that's kind of the debate. Do you get an extra bench player and get rid of one of the relievers, or do you keep 13 relievers and still play with a short bench?
I could see either way. And, 10 days ago, the starters weren't going deep into games, and he said, well, you need that extra arm. Now a shift is on here for Jason Hayward. Shows bunt and looks at a strike.
And then the starters get their act together. And then yesterday you had to, in a non-save situation, you had to pitch Segrist and Rosenthal just because they needed to work. They aren't the only ones down there. So it's a tough call.
1 ball, 1 strike. At the National League with the double switches, you think about having more on your bench, more so than maybe your bullpen.
I think also the factor that you had 20 games in a row, then you had an off day, then you played another 16 games before the off day on Thursday. So you've hit that rough stretch of playing continuous baseball.
2 balls and 2 strikes. You see the shift here on Jason Hayward. I was talking with Ed Lewis, who started Cardinals Care, you may remember.
Yes, I remember.
Now he's running the analytics department with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he said many times they will shift from pitch to pitch. Now such a big part of the game, and he said, well, we wouldn't do it unless it worked.
Yeah, and we've seen the Cardinals do that, maybe not as much as some of the other clubs.
Here's a 3-2. It's sharply to first, backhanded by the Gold Glover Goldschmidt. 2 down.
You mentioned that Goldschmidt is an MVP candidate, a Gold Glove winner. See how he starts out so low. Hard hit ball, maybe a little damage on one of those laces.
Here's Peter Borges hitting .250, a start in center field. He has 1 home run. He's driven in 6. Third baseman Tomas is in on the grass. Makes you wonder, you and I know about the deficiencies that Tomas has at third base. Would they try to bunt on him, put the ball in play towards him with those bunts?
He's made 5 errors in the regular season. But they say of late he's playing better defense and really not a glaring problem.
A 1-1 pitch. Tomas initially an outfielder. When the Diamondbacks signed him, they thought that he'd be an efficient third baseman. Not great, but get the job done. It's been an adventure at times. And the 2-1 is hit in the air to right field. Mark Trumbo under it. Makes the catch in a 1-2-3 inning for Chase Anderson. Sends us to the 3rd. 1-0 St. Louis. On the banks of the Mississippi River. Over 20,000. The men and women of the military have been buried there. Historic place right here in St. Louis. Memorial Day of 2015. And on this day, how do you not think about Mitch Harris and those that have served our country too?
And you notice the uniforms and hats, the camo on the bill. Also the uniform has the camo, the Cardinals, the birds and the bat. And those will be what, auctioned off to raise money?
It's talking with Derek Lilliquist. As Nick Ahmed is the first hitter here in the third. Derek, our pitching coach here in St. Louis. His son is a Marine, 1st Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment, called Suicide Charlie. He is a machine gunman, infantry unit, and when his son graduated high school, which is about 3 years ago, he came to Derek and his mother and said, okay, I want to join the military. I want to be a Marine. And Derek told him, take a week, think about it, research it, make sure this is what you want to do. And he came back fully vested into becoming a Marine. And I asked Derek about that, and he said if it was my decision, I'd be walking on eggshells every day thinking about that if I sent my son to the Marines. He said, but it was his decision. I've gotten a chance to meet those that serve our country with my son. I sleep well at night knowing that he's there.
Remember, we saw him in Atlanta. I don't know if it was right after basic training or.
Ground ball chopped to second base. Wong makes the play. He has served one tour in Afghanistan. He has one more coming up. And I said, for me, being a father of 4, knowing that my son or daughter was off to Afghanistan, I don't know how I'd sleep. And he said, believe me, I trust our military. I've met those that serve with him. You'd sleep just fine. Very, very proud of his son.
Trust the training. And to think about it, Dan, you know, the country has been at war for more than a decade, and all volunteer armed forces, the men and women that represent us and represent us so well around the world. They are a special breed.
A strike to Chase Peterson, the pitcher, who's batting .143. No home runs, and he's driven in 2. You'll be at Fort Leonard Wood coming up on Friday night.
I still go back to a trip that I made in '97 to Bosnia. But at the end of that trip, after being in Germany and Bosnia, got turned over to the Navy, went to Italy, Sardinia, Sicily, rode to Spain. But a young Marine staff sergeant met at the embassy in Naples. And this young black Marine talked with such pride of the Marine Corps. I mean, had me almost ready to sign up.
Taken there by Peralta, 2 down.
So we are mini ambassadors. And the Marine Color Guard, he said, is one of the biggest honors. And the civilian population in Italy, I guess, you know, at times would, for a wedding, could get the Marine Honor Guard to come to a special wedding for, I guess a diplomat or somebody. And he said this young sergeant was talking about how the days of, you see the John Wayne movies of throwing things and throwing guys through windows and bars and stuff. We are many ambassadors, and we represent this country, and we have to do it perfectly. But it was just the pride this young man talked about. And actually said he'd gotten out of the service and said, I had to get back in. You know, I needed the discipline.
Ender Inciarte, the leadoff man for the Diamondbacks. Cole's time. He flied to left his first time up. Martinez is sharp early on. On the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
You know, you got to be careful with these guys too, even with 2 outs.
Oh, that pitch tied him up. third strikeout for Carlos Martinez. We are midway through 3. Memorial Day 2015. Is brought to you by Infinity. Visit your local area Infinity retailer for a test drive today. Beautiful day for baseball here in St. Louis. Memorial Day. Carlos Martinez leads it off in the bottom of the 3rd, followed by Colton Wong and Matt Carpenter. Camouflage birds on the bat. The bill of the caps as well. The numbers. Carlos Martinez, a base hit. Watch every out-of-market game live in high definition with MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Blackout and other restrictions may apply. Visit MLB.TV.
And the proceeds from the sale of those caps and jerseys are being used to support the Welcome Back Veterans Program.
Here's Colton Wong. And a pitch inside. Colton with a double into right field. First time up. And has scored the lone run.
Extended his hitting streak to 9 games and really feeling comfortable in that leadoff spot now.
Yasmani Tomas, third baseman, way in on the grass at third. Goldschmidt holding at first. This is an outfield with good arms for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They had 43 outfield assists last year, which was a major league high. And one shy of their franchise record. Inciarte has 10 assists in center. Wong pops it up. Ahmed backing up and makes the catch. So Chase Anderson comes in, pitching quite well here in the month of May. Only Young, Miller, Greinke have better ERAs in the month of May, and then Tim Lincecum.
How about that? Lincecum's reinvented himself. Velocity way down, but using a little trickery.
Matt Carpenter single to right field. First time up, he's 1 for 1. Anderson pitched collegiately at the University of Oklahoma. Originally drafted by Minnesota, did not sign, and then a 9th round selection of the Diamondbacks in 2009.
We'll see another, well, almost an Oklahoma Sooner tomorrow. Archie Bradley was slated to go there and play quarterback, but was 7th overall pick by Arizona and chose baseball. I think he made a wise decision.
1 ball, 1 strike. He had a scary moment a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ball that hit him on the face.
Fractured his sinus cavity, but escaped. It could have been a lot worse, put it that way. But he also kind of said, I'm not worried about it because I took a few hits from some tough linebackers, and I think I'll bounce back from this.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Carpenter. Hits it the other way, slicing towards Peralta. Makes the catch. And there's 2 outs.
Hit the ball hard. Went with the pitch down and away.
Arizona has actually been better at home this year than on the road. A game above 500. Away from Arizona, 11-13 at home. 2 outs, runner at first. That's Carlos Martinez, very short lead, and Holiday hits it out to center field. Enciarte with room and makes the catch in front of the track. Leadoff hit by Martinez. Then the Cardinals go 1-2-3. Al Hrabosky, Pat Barris will join thousands of new Army recruits and Cardinals fans at Fort Leonard Wood. You can join us as well. The public is invited to Nutter Fieldhouse to watch the Cardinals game and the post-game show. It's This One's for You this Friday at Fort Leonard Wood. Many familiar faces back in St. Louis. We saw Tony La Russa. And also here, their first base coach, guy that was here in St. Louis for many years. That's Dave McKay.
Still got us 39 too.
Worked from 1996 to 2011 with Tony La Russa, the world champion Cardinals of that year.
Dave Duncan is senior pitching advisor to the organization as they're trying to reinvent the wheel.
Here's Mark Trumbo. Reinvent the wheel, huh?
I don't know about the wheel, but they're trying to
get back to their winning ways.
Yeah, get back to the winning ways, and I wouldn't bet against them.
Tony La Russa's official title is the Chief Baseball Officer, and he will tell you decisions rest with him. Nice play, Colton Wong. Trumbo is 0 for 2. So when things go poorly, or if there's a bad signing, he says, look to me. He signs off on all baseball transactions.
You see the arm strength of Colton Wong on this one. Right at the edge of the grass. I get a little hop to get on top of the ball and get a little body behind it, but he's got a strong arm.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Saw his season cut short a year ago when he was hit on the hand. He chops it up the middle. Wong again. What a play. Colton Wong. Wow.
If you didn't believe me in the arm strength on the first one, you saw it on the second.
He's made a number of these types of plays on the shortstop side of the second base bag.
Yeah, he was playing up the middle, cheating a little bit that way, anticipating there, but you still have to have the athleticism, the strong arm to throw on the run like that and throw a strike.
Here's David Peralta. I think we're finally seeing the full complement of what Colton Wong can do. His talents, he's relaxed.
Absolutely.
He's batting in the leadoff spot. He's comfortable there.
And, you know, I think that's part of the factors, that leadoff spot where, you know, it's going to be interesting when John Jay comes back. Where will he be? I kind of like Colton Wong there in the leadoff spot.
Also finding out that they're interchangeable parts too, that Wong, if you wanted to, you could drop him down. Same thing with Jay.
Well, obviously we know Carpenter, you can hit him any place in the order.
2-1 the count on David Peralta, who struck out looking first time up. 3-1. Isn't that a bat? I just wonder if he was a little distracted. Remember, Goldschmidt,
I thought so,
was running from first to second, had that base stolen easily. Everybody screaming for Martinez to step off. He never did, and it looked like he was a little shook up on the play.
Johnny had just moved that before that final pitch to that location. Paid off.
3 ground ball outs midway through 4. Cardinals on top. Be Adams, Peralta, Molina, and again we check in with Jim Hayes.
Dan, Marco Gonzalez just had his best start of the season Tuesday, throwing 6 innings of 1-run ball, striking out 7 for Memphis, but he's run into some trouble. Marco experienced tightness around his left pectoral, throwing on flat ground. John Mozeliak told me Marco will be given a full exam by the Cardinals medical staff tomorrow here in St. Louis. He said they should have the next step for Marco figured out by game time tomorrow. Dan, same issue that Marco experienced earlier this season. They're just trying to get a handle on it.
Here's Matt Adams showing bunt, drops it down. It's a beauty. How about that? The big man. Do it yourself, big man. Drops down the bunt. They love it.
Well, that's it. If they're going to give it to you, you got to take it. Why hit into the shift? You just drop a few bunts down like that, and then all of a sudden they'll start playing straight up. And maybe some of those hitting lanes, when you want to get a pitch inside, you can pull it.
I love it.
Well, he worked on this. He worked on that all spring training. They knew they'd have that shift on, so you just try to lay it down. Doesn't even have to be that great a bunt, but that one was pretty good.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Matt Adams bunting.
He did that on the road trip too, didn't he?
Peralta grounded into a fielder's choice first time up. Outfield straight away and deep. Room to the right side. And Peralta out in front of the changeup, which again has been around 80-81. And going back to your point, Al, about a 10 miles per hour difference. That's significant at this level.
Yeah, sometimes we know Walker's got a really good changeup, but sometimes we say he throws it too hard, where there's not enough variance in the speeds. But when you've got that 10 or 11 mile an hour, then and have the same arm action as the fastball, you're going to have hitters way out in front.
Speaking of Michael Walker, how about what he's done so far this year? 7-0.
And the only pitcher in baseball, the only starter that his team has won every one of his starts.
Walker with 7 wins, the only National Leaguer to have 7. Garrett Cole was 6. James Shields picked up number 6 yesterday. Bartolo Colon of the Mets was 6. 7 pitchers tied with 5 wins. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Peralta. Adams just showing bunt. He's a threat to steal, and they check on him. Come on, Al, you drop down a bunt, you get that infield hit. Now you got speed they talk about.
That's right. Blazing speed. Going back to the first base bag.
Adams is running and foul.
Also like to see him just execute that slide. That's what his mind was intending to do. So don't try and pull up at the last second. Just go in there hard. And trust me, by going in, you've got that size, you're going in feet first. Those middle infielders are going to respect that. They're not going to put that glove down there real quick.
Peralta base hit into left. A changeup left up and over the middle of the plate.
Let's go back to the Matt Adams at bat, and you'll see it's just the shortstop on the left side of the infield. Pitcher, you got the 3 on the infield, third baseman, second baseman, first baseman. So the shortstop has to come in here, goes by the pitcher. Shortstop Ahmed picks it up, but the only thing he can do is put it in the pocket. And then Anderson got the change, threw the changeup to Peralta, got the ground ball he was looking for, but he pulled it through the left side and found a hole.
Molina on the first pitch, his first plate appearance, popped it up on the infield. Runners at first and second, big gap in left center. Cardinals lead by the score of 1-0. Always find it interesting. Second time through a lineup, third time through a lineup at this level, when a pitcher doesn't have overpowering stuff, what kind of adjustments he makes, and then conversely what the offense can do.
It's something about being in that batter's box, seeing what the action looks like versus watching everything on video. And I think it's kind of a lost art where all right-handed hitters in the Cardinal lineup should be watching this at bat with Molina. They should be watching to see how the pitcher attacks Molina. and then they get a little idea how he's going to go about their approach.
One ball, one strike. Way out in front of the changeup.
Right. Here it looks like he really exaggerates the motion. But if you're in the batter's box, it looks exactly like the fastball. Except the ball just doesn't come out with the same velocity.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Yadier Molina. One
thing Anderson does well is he has that ability to go in and out with his pitches. If you can run those fastballs in on the hitters, that helps out sell the changeup when you're primarily trying to go down and away with it.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Didn't get the call. Previous pitch was in.
Yep.
That's out. 2-2.
So he threw the fastball there, and that's what you can do. Spot the fastball on both sides of the plate.
Here's a 2-2. Molina to the right side. Goldschmidt to second. Out there. They turn the double play. Anderson covering the bag at first. 3-6-1 on the double play.
And that's where a lot of times, if you're a scout watching the stands, the pitcher wants to throw a ground ball. If he gets a ground ball and it goes through like it did on Peralta, you can't judge him. You can't penalize him. But he still needed a ground ball there, and so the next hitter, Molina, does give him the twin killing. Do get the runner over third base, but now it's 2 outs. And Hayward was in a little funk. 0 for his last 10. He was 3 for 16 on the road trip.
There's so many things that have to go right on that play to go 3-6-1. And first is a strong delivery by Goldschmidt to your shortstop, who then has to hopefully have his pitcher to the bag in time at first as Hayward lines it off the glove of the shortstop Ahmed. 2-out base hit. RBI drives in Adams. 2-0 Cardinals.
Your point is exactly right. As Hayward drives in his 13th run of the game. And remember we were talking about Adams dropping down the bunt. Well, you watched in spring training an awful lot of Hayward and Adams both working on trying to hit the ball the opposite field. Just goes off the top of the webbing. It just really couldn't hold on to it or bring it back down.
Here's Peter Borges. Well, it's a great shot there, isn't it?
Sure is.
It's letting the ball get
deep, and then that helps take it to the opposite field. The follow through, the eyes riveted on point of contact.
Two outs, a little bigger lead this time by Hayward. Long look by Anderson, and he steps off. We'll see if he does it here, but Gosewich looks in. He'll see whether or not Chip Hale wants him to throw over, but he takes a peek at Borges to make sure he's not peeking back at him. The little things you see within the game. Nice play.
It'll get around real quick if you got a peeker.
That's how you get hurt, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how you get hurt. If the hitter's looking down to see, he doesn't always have to know what the pitch is, but if he knows location, in or out, sometimes that'll help to tell what the pitch is, or at least he has an idea. But if you're got a hitter that'll look down and peek like that, there's ways to make him learn that you don't do that. Usually take one in the body.
Way outside, 2 balls, no strikes, and Martinez on deck.
I'd say this would be a situation, just come out here and tell, now I'm going to say, I'm going to give location away, but you're going to throw the ball in. I'll be there, and you get a hitter diving across the plate, and he eats one.
Rena Pet-Leash is coming up here at the ballpark. That's Saturday, June 13th. Walk home with a Cardinals pet leash. They're available to 25,000 pet lovers ages 16 and older. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. 2-0 the count. Hayward leaning towards second, not running. A good changeup on 2-1.
I think you're going to find out that Anderson has the confidence to throw that changeup at any count, ahead or behind.
Had a shot of Tony La Russa earlier. This is his first trip to St. Louis, made as a member of the Diamondbacks. He was hired last May, skipped the team's trip to St. Louis because he thought it might be too much of a distraction. He has been back to Busch Stadium for several events since, including our speaker series. He was magnificent that night. Always has been great with crowds, the fans.
I mentioned Wednesday's going to have one of the field dedications in his name for Cardinals care, but also the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. He'll get his bronze statue as part of that Walk of Fame.
2-2 on Borges, and another check on Hayward. You're a member of the Sports Hall of Fame, Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Ricky went in this past fall. They do a great job, and as you mentioned, a statue this time for Tony La Russa. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Borges. Big gap in left center. Runner goes, and a strikeout of Borges, the first of the afternoon for Chase Anderson. 2-out RBI single by Hayward. 2-0 Cards. Ballpark, Busch Stadium in St. Louis, as Yasmani Tomas will lead things off for the Diamondbacks, followed by Owings and Tuffy Gozawish.
And Tomas is 24 years of age, and they signed him to a 6-year, $68.5 million contract. Cuban defector. But they got him for power, but yet they say that he just doesn't pull the ball. That everything he hits is kind of up the middle, and almost to the point where it's concerning to some people.
Slowly hit. Martinez couldn't get there. Barehanded by Carpenter. Safe. Infield hit for Tomas. And he had the last hit with the Diamondbacks back in the second inning. AT&T versus Rewind. Matt Adams putting the ball in play. That would score Colton Wong in the first run of the game. And then a 2-out base hit moments ago for Jason Hayward. Off the glove of the shortstop, Ahmed. And it's 2-0 St. Louis. Owings hit into a 4-6-3 double play back in the second. Cardinals took a look at whether or not to challenge that play with Tomas, and clearly he is safe.
I think Matt did keep his foot on, but it was a late, great effort by Carpenter, but just well placed. Chris Owings is hitless in his last 19 at bats. He and Ahmed got off to a slow start. They were 1 for 20 with just 1 walk at the beginning of the season, but then they both got hot a little bit. Ahmed has a 9-game hitting streak, and Owings has gotten real cold at 0-19.
Here's a 1-0. On the bench for Arizona, A.J. Pollock, who has been an everyday player. Aaron Hill, Jordan Pacheco, and the switch hitting Cliff Pennington.
They're kind of using a 4-man outfield right now. So Pollock will probably play tomorrow, and one of the 3 will sit.
Inciarte, they're getting production from him at the top of the lineup, so that's where he'll stay. There's a good breaking ball. Then the other one would be David Peralta, who we spoke of earlier.
Yeah, and Trumbo's probably every day. Breaking ball, top of the zone, but it didn't swing.
Center fielder Borges is shallow. Outfield straight away. 1-2. Off the glove of Peralta and into center field. Tomas will stop at second base. A base hit, back-to-back singles to start play here in the 5th.
He took the hanger, and then another breaking ball hit hard up the middle, goes on through. But this is where you really have to dominate. 7, 8, and 9 in the order. If you're going to win at this level, you should dominate the bottom third in the batting order.
Inside corner, strike 1. James Benjamin, nickname Tuffy Gosewich. Played collegiately at Arizona State. Falls behind 0-2 from Freeport, Illinois. Nickname comes from his grandfather because Grandpa said he was a tough and destructive baby. Always broke everything, so they nicknamed him Tuffy. 0-2 pitch. Inside 1-2.
He's not a youngster.
He's 31.
Yeah, he's 31 and reached the big leagues last year. Originally drafted by the Phillies in the 11th round of 2005. And you kind of get the impression that whatever he hits is going to be a bonus. They want him to call a good game.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That's another reason that Montero is no longer a Diamondback, durable. But there is some that believe that he maybe paid too much attention to his offense instead of handling the pitching staff. And we know that Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa put a premium on that.
Exactly.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 3-2.
The Toyota keys is don't walk anybody.
Yet to do that today.
Yeah, and don't walk anybody and keep the ball in the ballpark. You've got a good chance to win with Cardinal offense and defense.
Three-two pitch. Struck him out. 4 strikeouts today for Carlos.
It was ball 4, but boy, it had good movement on it.
Well, you look at Memorial Day as kind of being the measuring stick early on in the season where you're at. This are the teams last year that were leading their divisions. The Braves, the Brewers, the Giants, and this year, Washington, St. Louis, Los Angeles. Washington, by the way, has already posted a victory over Chicago, 2-1 the final there.
Chicago's lost 3 of the last 4 games. Win your game.
Ahmed at the plate, and it's hit out of play.
What you think, as you saw those leaders from a year ago, the 3 division leaders this year have a good chance of staying in first place.
I do. You would think with the pitching of the Dodgers, they go anywhere. Cardinals, talk about them day in and day out, solid team. And Washington, a lot of people predicted they would come out of the National League, slow start. They're playing very well. And their pitching may be better than anybody.
Right. And they got off to a slow start last year and then won 97 ball games to lead the National League in wins.
Colorado has beaten Cincinnati today. The Reds have dropped 9 straight. Here's a 1-1. I think the most interesting turn of fortunes this year has to be what Houston has done in the American League West and what Oakland hasn't done, which is win. They basically have flip-flopped. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Ahmed. Breaking ball struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carlos Martinez. So in 2014, Toronto, Detroit, Oakland, and in 15, the Rays. New York really struggling, 1-9 in their last 10 coming into play today. The Kansas City Royals and then Houston. Here's Anderson and ball 1.
I think people would be shocked that the Rays are leading the division too.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. Carlos, don't get too far ahead of yourself. This is where you got to kind of, and it's good. He's backing himself off right now. You know, taking a lot of time. Struck out the first 2. Yeah, it looks glamorous to strike out 3. But if you can get 1 pitch and have him roll over and make the 3rd out, that's all the better.
Even Molina just stood up.
Yeah.
Gave the calm down. Yeah. 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you can see he backed up a little bit there, slowed down a little bit, and it was just 92. 92 with his movement is fine.
Here's a 1-1. Martinez with runners in scoring position. This is where he's limited the damage. 9th best in the National League. Opponents hitting 189 coming into play in this spot. 063 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. 5th best. Hit down the right field line. It's slicing and foul. That ball gets down fair. We're tied 2-2. Instead, just a strike, and it's 2-2. So here's what we're talking about. The Kia in the driver's seat, what Carlos Martinez does. with runners in scoring position, and then again with 2 outs coming into this start.
The great pitchers, you can't really appreciate them until they do have a couple guys on. Then all of a sudden, their velocity has a foot quicker. The breaking ball is that much sharper. Now you got the crowd into it too.
The 2-2 strikes out the side. Back-to-back hits. The emotion from Martinez after 3 consecutive strikeouts to end the top of the 5th. Goes a wish. Ahmed. And then Anderson. 6 strikeouts today for Carlos Martinez. $35 times on the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote early, vote often at Cardinals.com/vote. Here's Carlos Martinez. Cardinals with a 2-run lead. Home half of the 5th here in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. Great job by Martinez to get out of the jam in the top half.
And we also talked about how important it is for him not to walk anyone. In his career, in games that he has 0 walks, he has an ERA of 2.09. In games where Carlos Martinez has walked 1 or more, his ERA is 5.21.
What a difference. Here's a 2-0 pitch. So the moral of that story, don't walk anybody.
Don't walk anybody. And keep the ball in the ballpark.
Chopped foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Always worry about him swinging. We've got him under control pitching now. If we can only get him under control when he's swinging the bat.
You don't need to pull your hamstring running down the line.
Or just pull your back out.
Yeah.
Swinging like that.
And a strikeout on the changeup, 2nd today for Anderson. Love the drink run with any size, any flavor McCafe shake for just $1.99. And you can get that at McDonald's. Cardinals came into play as a team hitting .265. We mentioned 3 in the top 10 of the National League in hitting. One of them at the plate right here. That's Colton Wong. He's had 36 at bats now as a leadoff man. He has scored 5 runs, 10 hits, a couple of doubles, pair of RBIs. You look at the on-base percentage, always a key, and it's at .324.
And I think we got to factor in the fact that I know he was at least 0 for 10 as a leadoff man. And he even talked about it. He had to change the mindset. He thought he had to take all these pitches.
Hits it away. That's a base hit. Is he thinking 2 out of the box? He'll test Peralta. No.
But Dan, that's what you do as a hitter. You think 2 out of the batter's box. You make that good round, thinking that you're going to get 2, and then you make the defense decide whether you're going to ultimately go for it or not. And when he got around the bag, he realized that, okay, it wasn't worth it because Peralta got to the ball and came up and fired back towards second. See how he let that ball go deep, goes into left field. Actually slicing off his bat, it was in right around almost foul territory, but Peralta got to it quickly and got it back into second, holding him to the single.
Colton Wong with a 2-hit day, and now it's Matt Carpenter, 1 for 2. Look at a key stat with any player. OPS. On base plus slugging percentage. It's at .972. That's first among all National League third basemen for Matt Carpenter. I was thinking the other day, and I talked about it over the weekend, you start thinking about the All-Star game. You could have Michael Wacha, Colton Wong, Matt Carpenter, Matt Holliday. That's 4 at least. And you think about Rosenthal.
And Yachty's always going to get fan votes.
Yeah. I'll give you the wild card of all wild cards. Carlos Villanueva with a point whatever it is ERA.
Again,
it's a wild card.
I hear you, but I don't bet, but that would be a long shot.
Yes, it would.
But I wouldn't say that it's not deserving.
My point is he's having a pretty good year.
Absolutely.
Here's a 1-1. Although I said Pat Neshek was a long shot this time last year, and he made it. Roll a little different, though, as he turned into a setup man.
Sometimes now, they're rewarding more setup men than they are the closers. Because you need setup guys, and you don't want to have the controversy of, do I hurt somebody's feelings saying, you're not good enough to be my all-star closer.
Pitch was outside. Wong running and out. Caught stealing. Colton Wong.
Switch has been throwing much better. He's thrown out now 8 of the last 17 attempted base stealers. So he got the high throw, which actually is easy to throw with. Might have missed that tag, but it's in the vicinity. Does he come down and get the shoulder or the arm?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
It's good tag there, too. Had to be quick with a pitch that was up and away. Three and 2 on Matt Carpenter.
Long now is 3 steals and 7 attempts.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and the count full on Carpenter. Reaching for it, and a base hit over the outstretched arm and glove of Owings. He was out in front, but didn't matter. 2-hit day for Carpenter. As we take a look at our What's on Tap presented by Budweiser. Archie Bradley 2-1, and Jaime Garcia going for the Cardinals. Good to see him back in this rotation and healthy. We'll come your way at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest.
You saw the 21st Major League high multi-hit game for Carpenter.
One thing we've seen with Garcia, by the way, when he starts at home, usually he is electric.
Very good numbers at home. Just when he pitches and he's healthy, he's got very good numbers. Just terrific movement.
Here's Matt Holliday. First pitch, a strike. Holliday is fly to left and also fly to center. One home run shy of 275 for his career. Trying to extend his on-base streak to 41 consecutive games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Over the weekend, he did it the hard way with a couple of hit by pitches.
I know he's extended 3 different times being hit by pitches.
The 1-1. This on-base streak is the major's second longest to begin a season since 2000. Trailing only his former teammate Albert Pujols. Reached in a record 42 straight back in 2008 with the Cardinals.
That's at 42 if you go back to the end of last season.
Club record Stan the Man 55 back in 1943. Holliday into right. He's extended the streak. Base hit. It's now up to 41. 3 consecutive singles for the Cardinals. And it brings in Matt Adams.
Ball stays up. Not hit particularly well, but he's just so strong and just muscles it over the infield for the base hit. That broke a little 0 for 9 for Matt Holliday.
Now it's Adams, who has scored a run, driven in the first run of the game back in the first inning, and singled against the shift with a bunt. 2 outs, 2 on.
Had a couple doubles in yesterday's ball game.
Here's the 0-1. In the air, left side. Tomas over, out of room and out of play. So 2 strikes on Matt Adams.
And with Matt's RBI today, giving him 20, that's 5 Cardinals with 20 or more RBIs.
Oh-2 pitch. Wild pitch to the backstop with that breaking ball. You think about it too, Al, it's not an offense that hits for the home run, but a lot of doubles. And that is where you have to look at where the power is generated in this offense, and timely hitting is back.
Well, that could be a big, costly, wild pitch, putting both runners into scoring position. You got 2 outs, and you're going to have to come through in the clutch.
Strikeout of Adams, who has words with the home plate umpire, Lance Barksdale. And Adams slams his helmet. Mike Matheny is trying to keep him in the game. Memorial Day of 2015. Wherever you may be, we hope you're enjoying it and enjoying Cardinals baseball on this very special day in our country. Reminder that the shelter poster giveaway is tomorrow. 25,000 fans receive that Cardinals Tradition Meets Today poster. That's courtesy of Shelter Insurance. That'll be tomorrow night. First pitch, Martinez to Ender Inciarte is hit out of play. The top of the lineup for the Diamondbacks this time of day in St. Louis, this point of the season. The shadows do become a factor shortly in the batter's box. Inciarte is 0 for 2. He is struck out and flied out. Ground ball pulled foul past Dave McKay. Major League Baseball. This is certainly a world game now. Players from China, Japan, the Dominican, the United States, Mexico, Venezuela. Into shallow center, and that drops in. Inciarte is from Venezuela. And at one point, the Diamondbacks had 5 players from that country on their roster in June of last year. 5.
Remember, the Cardinals had an academy in Venezuela, but with the unrest there, I think they closed it down. Political unrest, and played winter ball in 3 different times in the Dominican, twice in Mexico, 1 time in Venezuela, and I felt safe in all those places. But probably more is
broken bat, and Trumbo grounds out.
More uncomfortable in Venezuela than the others.
Inciarte advancing from first to second base, and it brings in Goldschmidt. Another story of the Diamondbacks a year ago, injuries. Goldschmidt was hit on the hand August 1st, was done for the rest of the year. And part of the 98 loss campaign that they had 4 regulars. If you added it up, missed over 100 combined weeks. Regulars. It's fouled back. Goldschmidt, the biggest of the bunch. 2-time All-Star, the Gold Glove winner. He's won a Silver Slugger. And you know you're good when you're the T-Mobile game changer for this afternoon. Harper, Goldschmidt, Adrian Gonzalez, Anthony Rizzo, Matt Carpenter, highest OPS in the National League this season.
They said in their recent series, Diamondbacks had against the Cubs, Goldschmidt won 2 games and Rizzo won 1 of the games.
8th round pick out of Texas State University, the first ever position player from Texas State.
Truly a franchise player.
0-1 pitch. Now 0-2. Hit 300 last year, 19 home runs, drove in 69. Oh, 2 pitch. Got him. A late call. Goldschmidt strikes out. 7 strikeouts for Carlos Martinez, and there's 2 away.
That helps Matt Adams a little bit now. If you're going to call it against him, a low pitch, you got to call it for Carlos.
Now David Peralta 0 for 2, grounded into the shift and was called out on strikes back in the first. Runner at second base, 2 outs. Strike 1. For Carlos Martinez, just the 17th start of his young career. This being the first ever against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
76 pitches thrown. He's really controlling that even with the 7 strikeouts.
So 77 pitches here today for Carlos Martinez. And time is called. Martinez has struck out 7 in a game once. That was at Pittsburgh this year. And he's got 7 today. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Just because you got 2 outs, you got to be very comfortable or concerned about the D-backs that lead the majors with 91 2-out RBIs.
3-1 the count. Last inning, Martinez allowed 2 back-to-back base hits, then struck out the side. Runner at second here, and a 3-1 pitch from Carlos Martinez. He walked him. So just the first walk issued by Martinez. Edward Jones is pleased to sponsor the Hall of Fame and the annual induction process that gives fans a voice in honoring the team's greatest players. 2015 induction class has been selected. The Cardinals and Edward Jones congratulate the newest members of the Cardinals Hall of Fame: Curt Flood, George Kissel, Ted Simmons, and Bob Forge. 2 on for Tomas.
Tomas already 2 for 2 in this game.
Good breaking ball for strike 1. He's had a couple of those knee bucklers today, Al.
Yeah, whatever he's doing with it, it's not comfortable. They have some awkward at bats. They've taken some that look like they're up in the strike zone.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. In the air out to center field. There's Peter Borges drifting into right center and makes the catch. Diamondbacks have stranded 5 so far. Matt Carpenter, Adrian Gonzalez, Bryce Harper, Paul Goldschmidt, most extra base hits in the National League this season. Al told you about multi-hit games for Carpenter. It's now up to 21 to lead the National League with 2 more hits here today. What a player he's become.
Oh, really? Hard work has paid off. Somebody asked me today, the Diamondbacks, what has made him such a great player? And I said it's his work ethic. I said his father's a baseball coach. And obviously, he's put in the time and the effort and made himself a very good player.
His dad won a national championship as a high school coach in the state of Texas.
Going to name the field after him, right?
And Matt lives about a block away from the TCU campus in the baseball facility. Works out there day in and day out in the offseason. Grew up idolizing Lance Berkman. The 2-1 pitch. One of his prized possessions. His wife gave him a jersey signed by Berkman, and then the two became teammates. Ball 4. Speaking of his dad, his dad's name is Rick Carpenter. Coach Matt, who's in the big leagues, James Loney, Kip Wells, Chad Huckman was on that list, who was also in the major leagues. And to think the Cardinals signed Matt Carpenter for the sum of $1,000.
Now, he exhausted his eligibility, right? He was a senior.
Actually, a 5-year.
5-year senior. So, yeah. I mean, he really had no leverage. They could have said, I'll give you $1 and a bus ticket. He really had no leverage, being his college eligibility out of the way. I think it paid off for him, for both teams, the Cardinals and for the Carpenters.
He blew out his elbow his junior season at Tommy John, then was drafted after his senior year, 13th round pick by the Cardinals. For 2 straight years, he's been the organization's Heart and Hustle Award winner.
And that's presented by the alumni, Major League Baseball alumni, so makes it even a little more special. They know what goes on about baseball players and work ethic, and just kind of what guys around the country see from Matt. Wanted them to vote for it.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Yadier Molina. Runner goes, and it's hit out of play. This would be a good combination to do it with when you talk about, in particular, Molina at the plate. So good at going to right field. Bat control. Activity now in the bullpen for Arizona. They have 3 different players, bullpen pitchers, that have 2 saves. They have 6 total on the year. Off the end of the bat, that'll carry to center. Inciarte makes the catch. Back to the bag at first goes Johnny Peralta.
They lead the National League with 9 blown saves.
Came in this year, Addison Reed as their closer. He's now not in those closing situations. Chip Hale has said, I'm going by a bullpen by committee to close games out, but more than likely Brad Ziegler would be the closer for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Ziegler got the save yesterday, and you saw Randall Delgado warming up in the bullpen.
So 1 out, runner at first. Here's Hayward. There's a 2-out RBI base hit. And here's a fly ball lifted down the left field line. Out of play. Also grounded out sharply to first. Been dealing with a hip issue and back in there in the starting lineup today. One out, runner at first. 0-1 pitch inside to Hayward. Well, Jason does not turn 26 until August 9th. Cardinals picked up Jordan Walden in exchange for Shelby Miller, who's off to a fantastic start, and Tyrell Jenkins. Just wonder what kind of season Hayward is going to have. Is this the player we're going to see throughout the rest of the year? Does he get more comfortable as we go along?
We like his defense. Really plus base runner.
And the 2-1, he's out in front, pulls it foul. I think what's been interesting is that his splits came into this year really struggling against left-handed pitching. He's done just fine against lefties this year. It's the righties he hasn't had the success you might think he would have.
Yeah, he's hitting .350 with a home run against left-handed pitchers, and like you said, it was well under 200 a year ago. Not sure he's going to hit for the power that the Cardinals were hoping for.
The 2-2, broken bat, backhanded by Goldschmidt, out at second, and throw gets away at first. Hayward is safe.
A lot of ground balls to the right side. Second time he's hit one to first base here today. He fits in with it well in the clubhouse.
Project the numbers out, you're looking at basically what he did a season ago, which was 11 home runs, 58 RBIs. Average was better, hit .271. He's around .240 now this season. Peter Borges 0 for 2. He's flied to right, and he also struck out swinging. That was in the fourth. Pitch number 92 upcoming for Chase Anderson, who is due up fourth in the Diamondbacks' top of the seventh.
The Cardinals have activity in their bullpen in case we get into a situation where Martinez's spot will come up.
Cardinals have tried 2 hit and runs today, and they tried the straight steal with Colton Wong. He was caught back in the 5th. We'll see what they want to do here with Hayward.
It'd be real interesting here if Ford is going to extend it to Martinez's spot. Grichuk would pinch hit.
One ball, one strike.
Sokolovich warming up for the Redbirds. Delgado for the Diamondbacks.
Be fitting to see Mitch Harris pitch in this game today.
Absolutely.
Mitch Harris, in throwing with the rest of the pitchers before the game, went out in his military boots. Full Cardinal uniform and military boots.
And they did look strange.
Two and one. Traditional running count here. Let's see if they want to start Jason Hayward.
Dan, it seemed like decades ago it was always a hit and run count, running count, and then everyone got so accustomed to defensing against it that nobody would run on it. But now you could probably fool them by doing it again.
Hayward not running, and the pitch is off the glove of Tomas to short. Long throw. Borges beats it out. Grichuk now being pulled back, and Martinez will hit.
Hard hit ball deflected by the third baseman. Nice play by Ahmed, but Borges really can run, so didn't have a whole lot on the throw, but Borges running hard, beat it out. Interesting with 2 outs and runners at first and second, that you do let Carlos hit here.
Martinez with a single to left. That was in the third. Struck out in the fifth.
I mean, he's gone 6 innings. You have a lot of guys in that bullpen that could use the work. You do have to play only 3 games before you have an off day.
Carlos only had 82 pitches on the flip side of all that, but I think I'm with you, a bit surprised.
I mean, you can, if you took him out, you'd make a very positive outing for him and everything else.
What you're hoping is to get an inning, maybe even 2 more from Carlos Martinez. 0-2.
There's where your short bench does handicap you too.
The 0-2 instead of check on the runner at second. Hayward. Good speed out there. Borges. Runner at first base. Hayward at second. With 2 outs. Here in the home half of the 6th. Cardinals leading 2-0. St. Louis now with 10 hits. Martinez waves at it. Strikes out. Kept in front by Gosawish. And the strikeout is number 4. On this Memorial Day, USAA honors those who gave everything in their service to our country. St. Louis 0-5-0 for Arizona. Big crowd here at Busch Stadium. Owings, Gosawish, and Nick Ahmed, as Carlos Martinez will pitch into the 7th. This is good to see, pitching into the 7th. 6 1/3 in his last start. And a breaking ball for a strike. He has walked 1. He has struck out 7. Only 5 hits allowed.
And his most efficient. When you look at his pitch count. Segrist is warming up in the Cardinal bullpen. He's gotten a lot of pitches where guys have swung at balls. Balls almost hit him. Indication, the movement. My feeling is, and now Seth Maness has joined him. But if you're going to take Carlos out if one guy gets on base, I got to take the shot with an offense player hitting with 2 outs and 2 men on.
I'm sure Tony La Russa loves seeing that. Saying, hey, this stays a 2-run game potentially, and that's swung on and missed. And you know Mike Matheny is going to be questioned about that after the game. It's just part of the strategy. You can see it either way.
Yeah, you just rely on Carlos to keep on getting people out.
That's 8 strikeouts now.
That ties his career high. He's tied that for the 4th time this year.
There's Gozowicz. I wonder if part of the thinking too for Mike Matheny is the fact that you have the bottom of the lineup here.
Well, I think that's it. Remember I said you got to dominate on the bottom third, and he really has, as the 6 through 9 are 1 for 9 today.
That's pulled foul.
With 4 of the 8 strikeouts.
One ball and 1 strike. Outfield straightaway, shallow. Thought the delivery of Martinez has been more compact today. Many times you'll see him falling off hard towards the first baseline. Haven't seen that nearly as much.
No, and I think that is a byproduct of not trying to throw every pitch at maximum effort. You know, sacrifice a little velocity for command and also a more repeatable delivery. Which is 0 for 2 today. He's been hitting much better of late.
One out walk. Slow walk out to the mound by Yadier Molina. Pitch count now at 95.
I just want to slow him down, just get him sit there and say, you pitched a great game, now finish it off. But that walk, the second of the day, now brings up potential tying run at home plate. Ahmed has a career high 9-game hitting streak. That 412 during that time. He is 0 for 2 today. And a 6-game road streak, batting .421. So 1 pitch to the double play ball and go sit down and call it a day.
Ahmed is grounded out to second. Struck out in the 5th. There's your ground ball. Tough to turn to. Out at second. And a quick turn by Wong. Just to even make that close, impressive.
Yeah, first of all, it wasn't hit hard enough to turn to, but Colton Wong, and so quick with his hands and the strength of his arm. Right there, perfect feed. Want that ball like chest high, hit right there, and then he could have made that exchange and a quick flip, but Ahmed just average speed, and he's a little better than that. He's going to beat that one out.
Here's Aaron Hill, who has 3 home runs this year. Ground ball. Carpenter. Let's stretch on Memorial Day. Martinez through 7. St. Louis on top, 2-0. Anderson 6 innings. Tomas 2 for 3. Carlos Martinez 7 strong innings. Scoreless baseball. And Cole Wong 2 for 3. Well, Carlos Martinez, couple of walks today, but he strikes out 8 and has only allowed 5 base hits.
Yeah, and think about that. You put together this start with his last start, 6 1/3 innings, 13 1/3 now, scoreless baseball from Carlos Martinez in his last 2 starts. It'll be Segras that will start the 8th inning. Oliver Perez, yes, he's still alive. Will take over here for the Diamondbacks.
22nd appearance, the high ERA. Lefties have actually hit much better against Perez than right-handed batters. He's pitched with San Diego, the Pirates, the Mets, the Nationals, Diamondbacks. That pitch inside. Oliver Perez started Game 7 of the 2006 National League Championship Series for the Mets. Colton Wong, 2-hit day.
I don't know if I told you he's just 33.
Gateway Honda home run inning. If a Cardinal player hits a home run, Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Breaking ball misses in. 2-1. Wong with a double, a run scored in the first. Popped out to short. A single to left, and then a race caught stealing. That was in the 5th. Into shallow right. Trumbo with the glasses on, puts it away. Next time you're looking for great seats, head to StubHub. On StubHub, you can grab Cardinals tickets all season long, even at the last minute, and even if the game is sold out. So get to StubHub today. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of your St. Louis Cardinals. Anderson, the starter today for Arizona, went 6 innings, walked 1, struck out 4, gave up 2 runs. Talked about Matt Carpenter in the multi-hit games, now up to 21. 13 of those coming here at home.
Home cooking. Cardinals haven't had a lot of it, but the victory here today would run their record to 16-5 at home.
Hits it the other way, slicing to Peralta. And there's 2 down. So Matt Carpenter, the T-Mobile game changer. There you see it, what he's done here at home. The 2-hit games, 21 overall, 13 of those right here at Busch Stadium. Matt Holliday's extended his on-base streak to start the year. A base hit into shallow right. That was in the 5th.
Would you be surprised that Holliday has really struggled against Perez? 2 for 17 on 18 average. He started playing professionally last century.
Big crowd today, 42,853. Breaking ball off the foot of Perez, and he's hopping around. A base hit for Matt Holliday. And Perez is still hopping around. Ouch.
Check that foot speed. He's putting a little weight on it now, but a lot of times the foot will get you on the sole, the bottom of a shoe, but that one looked like it got run around the ankle bone. In some ways, you're kind of surprised it didn't just knock him off his feet coming off the bat of Holliday. Actually, just 90 miles an hour. Oh, look, almost like he kind of stuck his foot out like a skate save, and it hit his foot. You could hear it. Schmidt and Holliday going. Always wanted to do that. See if I could knock a pitcher off his feet. Two that could laugh. Oliver's not.
Now it's Adams against the Ship. He's already bunted once against it successfully back in the fourth, and that pitch taken for a ball. With 2 outs, you wonder if he would do that here, but you would think the time to do it would be especially against a left-handed pitcher.
I'd have no problem with it. I mean, try and give as many people on base.
Got to wonder how well Perez is running or even moving off the mound, too.
You would think he'd be a little slow in reacting. Peralta, the right-handed bat against the left-handed pitcher. Get Holliday in scoring position. They may walk him anyway.
Peralta on deck. Activity in the bullpen for Arizona.
Delgado will back up again.
Way outside. You have to wonder about the foot, how much it's affecting Perez now. He wasn't close with a number of those pitches, and that's going to be it. We'll step aside.
Growing up a star athlete in St. Louis, Dan Reardon was always rooting for his beloved Cardinals. After graduating from college, Dan became a tank commander in the U.S. Army and was known for placing a 2006 World Series bumper sticker on his tank. But in 2007, Daniel's life was cut short by an IED blast. Fox Sports honors Lieutenant Daniel Reardon.
Memorial Day 2015. Rick and Janine Reardon are here, his parents. That is a true American hero, Dan Reardon. June 23rd, 2007. Explosion proved to be the last for Dan and his company. 4 of his brave troops were killed. You heard that little piece, a graduate of Vianney High School, where I went to high school. Recipient of the Gold Circle Award, the Merriest Award, 2 of the highest awards you could get for your service to community, what you do in the classroom. You talk about a kid that was as popular as anybody you'd find. That was Dan.
Yeah. Brings it home, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Alta 0 for 2 lifetime against Delgado, who, remember, came up through the Atlanta Braves chain, highly touted prospect, and then was part of that Justin Upton, Chris Johnson trade between the Braves and Diamondbacks.
Had a chance to meet Dan. Went back and spoke at the school. Very nice young man.
Delgado got off to a good start. His first 13 games, he allowed just 4 runs. His last 4 games, he's allowed 5 runs and a 10+ ERA.
2-1 on Peralta. And he popped it up. Foul territory near the Cardinal dugout. We all miss Lieutenant Dan. Sports update. Kevin Segrist is in for Carlos Martinez. 7 innings for Martinez, 5 hits, couple of walks. He struck out 8, 97 pitches on the afternoon. Segrist, our Chevy, called to the pen.
should have the 8th inning. Rosenthal in the 9th.
Talked about Martinez and his delivery to the plate. Seagrass seems to be locked into the form we saw of a couple of years ago. Velocity has returned. He's been around 95, 96 last couple of weeks. Top of the lineup, Inciarte, and the first pitch is a strike. Inciarte is fly to left. He struck out in the 3rd and singled to center field.
Very few of these Diamondbacks have seen Seagrass. Inciarte is 1. He is 0 for 1. Goldschmidt has never seen him. Never allowed a base hit to a Diamondback.
Line drive and a base hit into right. So the Hyundai pitch arsenal for the left-hander Kevin Seagrass, as the tying run will come to the plate. Fastball, changeup, and curve.
As you mentioned, that fastball, since the season started, has moved up 3 or 4 miles an hour, more like 95, 96. Where it was in 2013 when he had the 0.45 ERA. Couldn't get enough of him that year. Last year he had forearm and nerve issues.
Shadows a factor here late. Mark Trumbo at the plate. 6 home runs. He's driven in 19, 0 for 3 today. Struck out swinging in the 1st and a pair of groundouts. Cardinals have turned 1 double play today. Good fastball at 94 from Seagrass. Just seems to be more free and easy.
I think you just mentally know it too, when all of a sudden you're exerting very little effort and the ball just jumps out of your hand. Belisle and Manus are throwing behind Kevin.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Took some off it. 1-2.
Comes up empty on that one, but you almost think with these shadows, the harder you can throw, the tougher it'd be to hit.
In the air out to center field. That's well hit. Borges back, and it's gone. Mark Trumbo on a 1-2 pitch goes down to get it. His 7th home run, and this game is tied at 2-2. Both hits against Seagrass coming with 2 strikes.
Marking that down. Little life back in the dugout there. There's the fastball down. He puts a charge in it. Dead center field. And we have a tie ball game.
So 2-2. Martinez will not get the win today. Now Goldschmidt. Be careful here. Single to center in the 1st. Grounded to 2nd in the 4th. And called out on strikes back in the 6th inning. Two balls, no strikes.
I'm going to fall behind the count to someone as dangerous as Goldschmidt. Be careful, set up in.
2-1. Cardinals with leading after 7 innings, 22-0 coming into play today.
Game's not over.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. And a walk. Single, home run, now the walk. In honor of Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports proudly supports Fields of Honor and its mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who have been killed or disabled while serving our country. For more information, please visit foxsportsupports.com. foxsportsupports.com. A strike to David Peralta, who has walked, grounded out, and called out on strikes back in the first against Martinez.
I'm just going to throw this out there, Dan, and I'm not meaning this for an excuse. But remember, we talked about how overworked the bullpen was, and then all the great work from the starters, were a lot of rest for the bullpen. You know, Segrist, he threw 8 pitches yesterday, but he had 5 days off in between. And sometimes, you know, you'll breeze through that one inning, but the next day you feel stiff because you haven't been throwing consistently. So it's that fine line.
Too much, not
Too
enough.
much, not enough, and and everybody reacts a little bit different. And it's one of those things you don't really know until you get out there either. You feel fine, you want to be in there, and things just don't work out.
You have to watch Goldschmidt too. Surprisingly, as we told you earlier, 8 stolen bases this year.
Yeah, he was 6 for 6 in his first 6 attempts, and they may be paying a little more attention to him, but he does have 8 steals in 10 attempts.
Carpenter is in, and a 1-1 pitch from Segrist. Two balls and a strike on David Peralta. Quick move, nice play by Adams. Had to pick that, keep that in front.
Big lead, step off and throw, but you don't have a lot on that throw, and so it was a nice pick by Adams. A little shorter lead this time.
2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Segrist worked all spring on trying to be quicker to the plate, control the running game. And you know he's aware of Goldschmidt over there, trying to pay attention, but got to work on this hitter. Now you got a 3-2 count.
Take it for a ball. Single, home run, and back-to-back walks. Which turned out to be one of the toughest outings of the season for Kevin Segrist. So B.R. Chevy called to the pen, and Seth Maness trots in. He'll pitch with 2 on when we come back. Ever time for the double play, it would be now, as the Diamondbacks have put 2 on after tying this game up at 2-2. They have runners at first and second. Nobody out. Yosmani Tomas will be the hitter. Tomas is 2 for 2. Single to center, an infield hit, and flied out to center.
You mentioned the double play. Well, that's the nickname for Seth Maness. First in Major League relief with 31 double plays since 2013.
Already his 23rd appearance for the St. Louis Cardinals. Playing at game number 45 today. First pitch misses. And Maness looking back as if to say, are you kidding me? It's not a strike.
He's had 3 days off since he last pitched.
And a fly ball lifted into right. Long way to go for Hayward. Let's see this arm. Makes the catch. Fires a bullet back into the infield. It's fun to watch that.
You know what's fun to watch is just a guy catch the ball and not, just anticipate the throw and make the throw. Instead of watching a guy sit there, just get up there and throw it. Do that, and you stop running game.
Chris Owings has bounced into a 4-6-3 double play. A single to center and struck out in the 7th. Outfield is straight away. Goldschmidt represents the go-ahead run in scoring position. Looking ahead to the bottom of this inning, the Cardinals have Molina, Hayward, and Peter Borges due up. Pitch in the dirt. Goldschmidt back to the bag at second.
Yadiak to talk to Maness.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Along with Al Rabowski, Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Pat Paris, Rick Horton standing by with the postgame show on this Memorial Day. If you've just joined us, the Cardinals picked up a 2-0 lead, and in this inning Arizona's tied it up. Bunt, barehanded play, Carpenter, the stretch by Adams, and got him. A terrific play from the Cardinal third baseman Matt Carpenter.
Showed bunt earlier in the bat. This time he drops it down. It's a do or die play for Carpenter. It comes in, picks it up with a bare hand. It's a roll down to his fingertips and throws on the run and just gets him at the wire.
Think about Carpenter. He does not have one of the strongest arms that you'll find at third base, but he's accurate and it's plenty strong enough.
Yeah, that's it. You can get rid of it quickly, and when you talk to Mike Matheny, you talk about Yadier Molina and are good defensive players, talking about that they're fearless. They're not afraid to make mistakes. And I think that's the way Carpenter plays too. You're afraid to make mistakes, you make them.
0-2 on Tuffy Gozawish. And Maness a strike away from ending this threat for Arizona.
Way ahead in the count. Making get himself out.
0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. What a job by Seth Maness. With 2 on, nobody out, nobody scores. Trumbo has tied it up with a 2-run homer off of Kevin Segrist. We move to the home half of the 8th. Good ball game. It's 2-2. Brought to you by USAA. For those who gave everything that we may breathe free, we honor you. Good ball game on Memorial Day. It's now 2-2. Yadier Molina will lead it off here in the bottom of the 8th for St. Louis. Molina has popped out to short, fly to center, and hit into a double play.
I wouldn't mind if he got his first home run here.
He's due. Go back to last year and just wonder how much that hand injury has affected his power. Maybe the weight loss to an extent as well. But he's been hovering around 300 for the better part of the season, right now at 289. 1 ball, 1 strike. Randall Delgado. His second inning of work. He is from Panama. Part of a big deal back in 2012. You see the relief losses for the Diamondbacks.
Well, you think about that. 10 relief losses, also 9 blown saves to lead the National League.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Molina pops it up. Shallow left. Nick Ahmed. It was Delgado, Martin Prado, Nick Ahmed, Zeke Sproul, and Brandon Drury to the Diamondbacks for Justin Upton and Chris Johnson. That was a big, big deal. Delgado has seen 2 and got the 2 outs.
Justin Upton now San Diego.
Hit a grand slam yesterday.
Potential free agent.
Shift on here for Jason Hayward.
You don't think the agents for guys like Justin Upton, Jason Hayward, all these guys aren't liking that Stanton contract?
I just don't know how it, though, would pertain to guys like Upton or Hayward. I mean, I understand he's an outfielder. You're looking for the contract, the next big deal to set the bar, but it's a different level.
So you go, Stanton hits 40 home runs. You hit 8 home runs. Give him 1/5 of his yearly salary.
It really doesn't kick in for a couple of years.
I know, but once it kicks in, it's out there. You know they're using it as leverage.
1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. The shift on here for Hayward. Yasmani Tomas, the third baseman, on the second base side of the bag. You've got Owings, the second baseman, good 10-15 feet out on the grass. Outfield is deep and a 2-2 pitch. Cardinals have already played, and we're not there yet, but they've already played in 7 extra inning games.
As of last week, it was the most in I believe all of baseball. The most extra innings the pitching staff has had to account for.
The at-bats today by Hayward have been better than we've seen in the last couple of weeks.
And I think that part of that indication recently is just how much the hip is feeling better.
This time he waves at it and strikes out.
Teammates Hayward and Delgado with Atlanta.
First strikeout for Delgado. 2 outs now here in the 8th, and it brings in Peter Borges. Enrique Burgos, right-handed, throwing in the pen right now for Arizona. Trevor Rosenthal throwing for St. Louis. Into center and a base hit. Randal Grichuk will be the pinch hitter.
Second hit of the afternoon. Breaking ball. Got a little hump in it. And Borges plants it in center field.
Certainly could see a double switch coming up in the ninth with Grichuk here. You could have pitcher move into Borges' spot. We'll see.
Mike Harkey, pitching coach. Remember when he came first on the scene with the Cubs? Not a 500 pitcher.
Peter Borges has 4 stolen bases this year. He's been caught 3 times. See how aggressive the Cardinals want to be here in the home half of the 8th with 2 down, and Grichuk at the plate.
Randall made a little highlight reel of his defensive catches in New York on the road trip. And after the tough 5 strikeout game, really showed something with the 5 extra base hits.
2 the day after, 3 the day after that. Outfield is deep for Randal Grichuk. Randall is 0 for 6 as a pinch hitter this year. Primary pinch hitter for the Cardinals has been Mark Reynolds. 4 for 13. Ball 1.
Just the mere fact that you have Grichuk and Reynolds on the bench, or late inning heroics, or somebody that could end the ball game, with one swing of the bat. Puts a little fear in the opposition.
Borges is running, pitch taken high, and he is out at second base. Caught stealing for the 4th time. He went hard into second base. Slow to get up, seems to be all right.
Got a breaking ball, went hard in there. Looks like he's out. The leg got pinned behind him, and that's why I think he was slow to get up.
Looks like a double switch now for Mike Matheny. We head to the ninth. 2-2 our score. All right, Pat, looking forward to the postgame show. Twice the Cardinals have been caught stealing. First it was Colton Wong, and then moments ago we saw Peter Borges caught as he went hard into the bag at second base. Tuffy goes a wish. Has had a good day behind home plate.
And he's thrown out 50% of his runners recently, 9 of 18. And boy, that was take the bat out of Grichuk's hand. He does stay in the game. So Rosenthal, who will take over on the mound, is in the 8th spot in the order.
Cardinals have stranded 9. They have 12 base hits. They've out-hit Arizona 12-7. We saw Trevor pitch yesterday in Kansas City. A Chevy called to the pen. His 21st appearance, the .89 ERA. Opponents hitting just 178 against him. Yesterday, a non-save situation for Rosenthal as he needed some work.
Last year he had just horrible splits at home. He really struggled with the command, usually walked the first man, but didn't like seeing him come in to tie ball games. But he looks like a different pitcher this year.
Drew Storen now leading the National League in saves with 14. Popped up to the right side. Colton Wong. He's got it for the first out. A.J. Pollock has got very good speed. Leads their club in stolen bases with 10. And Pollock will be the pinch hitter. That's popped up. Molina. Foul territory. Playable. 2 down.
Rosenthal pitching out of the stretch, and very simple. You have command, just let that leg straight up. See him drive off the back leg and explode towards the plate. And comes down as the arm comes around. And the leg comes down and the arm comes around, and a nice follow through. Very, very simple to try and rectify those control issues of a year ago. You know, Dan, a lot of people think that, you know, you have to throw harder out of a windup. It's really not so. If you have proper mechanics, you'll throw just as hard from a stretch, because all the windup stuff, you're going against going home plate. And at some point, you'll turn and you'll sit down on that back leg, or you'll push off the back leg in the same position that he is right now as a stretch.
Get out of play. 1-2 on Ender Enciarte. I've seen some pitchers really simplify their mechanics towards the plate. More of that we saw with David Price a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's just real simple.
Ground ball that's hit to short. Nice work by Rosenthal. A chance to win it for the Cardinals when we come back. Randall Grichuk leads it off. We're tied 2-2. brought to you by Bud Light. It reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Mitch Harris, we began the pregame show with a visit. The Navy grad. Will we see him today? Will we see extra innings? Randall Grichuk, Colton Wong, Matt Carpenter for the Cardinals were tied up at 2-2. Enrique Burgos warming up, and something obviously not right. They're going to check on him.
He says he's okay. Something the bench saw that they weren't sure about. Big strikeout pitcher.
Picked up the loss to the Cubs Saturday, a 9-6 loss for Arizona. Hadn't allowed a run in 3 straight, and then served up a game-winning 3-run homer to Anthony Rizzo in the top of the 9th inning. So they've got him right back out there, and it's our Chevy Cole to the pin.
25 strikeouts in his last 11 outings, covering 12+ innings. He's got 2 or more strikeouts, 17 total in his last 7 road games. And very tough on righties. They're hitless in the last 4 games, 10 at-bats, and 143 overall.
First pitch to Grichuk is popped foul and out of play.
I think this big crowd would welcome the walk-off right here.
Enrique from Panama City, Panama. His father, a left-handed pitcher who played in the minors and majors over 17 years. Signed at the age of 16 in 2007. Swing and a miss by Grichuk, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grichuk out to left field. That ball is down on a base hit. The winning run is on.
Just sends people with the Diamondbacks are going, oh, we already lead with 10 relief losses. Here comes another. Up to the Cardinals to make that happen. Colton Wong 2 for 4.
Next 3 in this lineup have combined for 6 hits in the game.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Grichuk and his good speed. I don't think we need to be stealing any bases. Just drive them in.
Certainly think about the bunt here with Colton Wong. Yasmani Tomas thinking that as well, way in at third. Wong up the middle, base hit. Grichuk to second. He'll stop there. Inciarte with a tremendous arm in center field. You could see Grichuk was thinking about it. A base hit could win it, and here comes Matt Carpenter.
Colton Wong, you know, tough to bunt against a guy that throws so hard, and it looked like the pitcher at her fielding position kind of maybe knocked that ball down, maybe field it, turn it into a double play. Chip Hale going to his bullpen. And
J.C. Ramirez getting loose to face Carpenter. just gotten up in the bullpen before Chip Hale went out to make the move. So he's trying to get loose in a hurry, or Chevy called to the pen. The Cardinals' first two have reached here in the bottom of the ninth. The Cardinals have had a number of walk-off wins already here at Busch Stadium this season.
Never have enough. Cardinals have the right man coming up here. Carpenter already another multi-hit game, 2 for 4, and the 2 outs he made were both line drive outs.
Ramirez began his career with Seattle. Then he was part of the Cliff Lee deal that brought him to the Phillies. And then signed a minor league deal with the Indians and then picked up by Arizona. So runners at first and second. The only run that matters is at second base and good speed and Gritchett. Mentioned earlier, the outfield arms are plus arms for the Diamondbacks. Twice Carpenter has singled to right. Shortstop Ahmed trying to keep Gritchett close at second. First pitch is strike 2, Carpenter. Ramirez, the 5th pitcher used by the D-backs today.
Smith's trying to tell his pitcher to step off. Carpenter has faced Ramirez one time and he walked him.
The 0-1. Now 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Almost a wild pitch. 1-2 on Carpenter.
Ramirez wasn't recalled from the big leagues until May the 10th. Almost wonder after that one if you could kind of eliminate a breaking ball.
Big gap in right center field. A check on Gritchett. See with 2 strikes. Inciarte, the center fielder, now shifting towards left center, and a big gap in right.
Big gap in right. Pull down the right field line. Out in right center.
Here's a 1-2. Carpenter strikes out.
Good pitch. Side just off the plate. Swings over the top of it.
Here's Holiday. 2-hit day. Now reach base 41 consecutive games to start the year.
And the walk-off hits. Last one was back in 13. He's due.
Strike 1 on Holiday. Oh, 2. Pitch at 95 from Ramirez.
He's been throwing 95, 96 with his fastball, changeup, and slider.
The 0-2. Strikeout of Holiday. Back-to-back strikeouts for J.C. Ramirez.
Rearing back, playing hardball, low ball hitter. He got his ball up the top of the zone and strikes him out.
Matt Adams with an RBI all the way back in the first inning.
It's 1 for 1, a double off of Ramirez. He'd take one right now.
May 1st against Pittsburgh, RBI single down the left field line. That was a walk-off hit for the Cardinals that night.
Both his walk-off hits have been against Pittsburgh.
Oh, 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2.
Ramirez credit coming in throwing strikes.
A couple times with the off-speed pitch, almost put it to the backstop.
One was a changeup, looked like that was an off, was a breaking ball. But they haven't touched the fastball yet.
The 1-2.
A little piece of that one.
One-two pitch, 2-2.
Pitches he sees, the better chance he's going to have. Throw the fastball in above his hands, tie him up inside. Let's go home on this one, Dan.
2-2. Struck him out. Extra innings coming up here at Busch Stadium. Second time today that Adams has had words with the home plate umpire. Ramirez, what a job, strikes out the side. long. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. First two reach for the Cardinals, and then J.C. Ramirez came in and struck out Carpenter, Holiday, Adams. This was earlier in the game. That was in the 5th against the starter Chase Anderson with runners at second and third. And there it is in the 9th.
Boy, frustrating for not only Matt Adams, but for the Cardinals. They've stranded 11 runners and lost 2 runners attempting to steal at second. They've had their chances, just can't get that big hit.
First pitch and a strike by Trevor Rosenthal, his second inning of work. Only took him 9 pitches to get Ahmed, Pollock, and Enciarte. So he's got Trumbo, Goldschmidt, Peralta here in the 10th inning. He looks sharp. That pitch at 98.
You know what Mike Matheny's saying is, I don't know if I'm going to be in a position to where I'll need my closer tomorrow. So I'll go 2 innings with him today because I have a win in hand.
That pitch is popped up off the bat of Trumbo, who tied it with a 2-run homer in the 8th. Peralta's got it for the out. And the first man retired. So 4 up and 4 down for Trevor Rosenthal.
And doing it with just 12 pitches. That's what helps. He did throw 16 pitches yesterday, getting 3 outs. He's got to go through the heart of the order.
There's been 2 relievers that have played key roles in this game today. One of them being Seth Maness, as Goldschmidt fouls it back. Maness came in with runners at first and second, nobody out in the top of the 8th. And then went 1, 2, 3, nobody scored. And then moments ago, Ramirez against the Cardinals. That's chopped slowly left side. Carpenter gloves. Goldschmidt beats it out. Infield hit for the slugger. On base for the 3rd time today. His 2nd hit to go along with a walk.
Another little nubber here, and he runs well for a big man. Charge it hard. Took a very good play by Colton Wong to keep him from getting the 3rd hit.
Now Peralta. On base twice, a pair of walks. Lights are on here at the ballpark.
Now the sun's been in and out of the shade, cloud cover.
Two and 0. Outfield straight away for Peralta. Taken low. 3-0. The Cardinals have turned a double play that was back in the 2nd inning.
Has already walked twice in this ball game.
Now for the 3rd time. Go ahead run in scoring position. Yasmani Tomas will be the hitter. Runners at first and second. Tomas single to center as an infield hit. Flied out to center and also flied out to right. He has grounded into 3 double plays this year. Well, the Cardinals had exactly what you wanted. Winning run at second base. And Carpenter, Holiday, Adams coming up, and nobody out.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't pick 3 better Cardinal batters to come up there.
One-zero pitch. 98. Mentioned Segrist and his velocity returning. Well, the same to an extent can be said for Trevor Rosenthal. Remember, his velocity dipped after he was used an awful lot early in the season, but he's been consistently in the high 90s since day one this year. Here's a 1-1 pitch. In on his hands, and it's 1-2.
You have to think Tomas really never really seen his changeup or good breaking ball. Getting thinking that way, or does he get another express?
1-2 pitch, shallow right. Hayward won't get there, and they're going to wave the runner home and then hold him up late. Goldschmidt never really got the stop sign from his third base coach, just looked back and realized Hayward was coming up with it and stopped on his own. And now the bases are loaded.
Mike Matheny's going to want to talk about this.
And the question right now is, should he have scored on this play?
See, he kind of didn't take that secondary lead. He just stopped right there.
I mean, at that point, the third base coach was waving him in.
Well, he wanted, you know, and then he had to stop him late. He really stopped himself. But Andy Green, the third base coach, now looks like Matt Belisle was gotten up in the bullpen in case this inning gets away from Rosenthal. We know Rosie's capable of going out there and striking out the next 2 and putting the Cardinals back on offense in a tie game.
Chris Owings hit into a double play, single to center, struck out, and on a bunt attempt was robbed by Matt Carpenter. Just wonder if that base running play will come back to haunt Arizona. Read it late as to whether or not that was going to drop. If he reads it initially, he scores easily.
Well, it gives the Cardinals an opportunity to get out of it.
0-1 pitch to Owings. Now 0-2.
It's all yours, Trevor.
Got him. Caught him looking. Strikeout for Trevor Rosenthal. The Diamondbacks now have struck out 10 times today.
Trevor needed that one. Right down the strike zone.
At 100 miles an hour as he hit triple digits with that pitch. Bases loaded, 2 down. And Tuffy Gozawish will be the hitter.
Gozawish, 2 strikeouts today. 0 for 3 and a walk.
There's strike 1. Gozawish has made his presence known with 2 caught stealings today. Borges, Colton Wong. Last pitch at 99. This will be pitch number 28. And an inning and 2/3 this far for Rosenthal. Ground ball that's hit to second. And Trevor out of the jam. Bases loaded, 1 out. Diamondbacks don't score. And they're left to wonder, should Goldschmidt have scored on the bloop to right? And Jason Hayward, the chance to win it again here in extra innings, where the Cardinals have played in 7 games already, 4-3 their record in extra innings. Second inning of work for J.C. Ramirez, who came on with runners at first and second and nobody out, with Carpenter, Holiday, Adams due up, and he struck out the side.
And Dan, a lot of times when you have somebody come in and do such a dramatic job like that, then they go sit down, or they're going to promptly get themselves right in trouble again. So difficult to win on the road in extra innings.
Peralta 1 for 3 with a walk.
Cardinals have 14 hits in this game.
That's it out of play.
Both teams have stranded 11.
You mentioned Cardinals 14 hits, Diamondbacks with 9, 2-2 game. Strike 2 on the Cardinals shortstop. Ramirez has come in and he's been impressive, to say the least.
Throwing strikes ahead of everyone. Really hadn't shown much command of his slider or changeup, but fastball no one's catching up to and putting in good spots. Seems like it's been ahead 0-2 on all 4 batters.
One and 2 the count here on Peralta. Johnny with a fly ball out to deep left field. Track, roll, and it's gone. Walk it off. Johnny Peralta. 3-2 the final. St. Louis over Arizona.
All the frustration has now been solved. Player of the game, Cardinals shortstop Johnny Peralta.
Yanks seem to be out in front. Let's take a look.
There's the breaking ball. He throws a strike, and Johnny knew he got it, but this ball could not have gotten much more than the first row. Got underneath it and just into the first row. On Memorial Day, Mitch Harris is part of the win.
Great win for the St. Louis Cardinals. They're now 29-16, 16-5 here at home. Let's head downstairs and Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
Johnny Peralta gets a hold of a 1-2 pitch. Take us through that at bat, and did you know it was going?
I know it's going, yeah. I hit it pretty good. But the whole time, you know, I think about fastball early in the game. Early pitch, and after that, I think he got me with a slider, so he make a slider right there, right in the middle.
You guys wouldn't get to the position where you could win it unless Rosenthal works out of a bases-loaded jam. How good was he to do that?
You know, Martini gave a lot of confidence right there when he go inside and talk to him. You know, he say, breathe, you can do it, you can make it a 3 out. And that's what he's doing, you know, he make a really good inning, and that's why we win the game.
Outstanding start from Carlos Martinez. He seems to be getting better and better. What impresses you about what he's doing?
I mean, like you say, he's doing better and better. I mean, everything that he's doing right now is working pretty good. I mean, the sink is hard, you know, the slider working good, and the changeup. So everything that he's doing right now is good.
Nice work. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Danny. Johnny Peralta wins it for the Redbirds.
All right, great stuff, Jim, here on Memorial Day. The celebration at home plate for the St. Louis Cardinals. They take game 1 of this series and the first of the homestand in dramatic fashion. But a day we remember, Memorial Day, America's pastime, here on Fox Sports Midwest.